Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be reviewing Delta and the Bannermen from Season 24 with the 7th Doctor and Mel. Now, this is the first time I've seen Delta and the Bannermen. My Season 24 box set has come in, and I've been watching the stories. I had only seen 2 of the 4 stories going into this box set. I'd seen Time in the Ronnie and Dragonfire, and now I have watched Paradise Towers and Delta and the Bannermen, and I really loved Paradise Towers a lot. Delta and the Bannermen, I think, is decent moving into good. It's not great, it's not bad. It is decent moving into good. I like Sylvester in this. I think, again, he's very serious. I don't understand where this attitude that Sylvester is way campy in Season 24 and he becomes more serious in Season 25. He's really serious in most of Season 24. He's one of the most serious parts of Paradise Towers, and he's pretty serious in this story. Now, Dragonfire, he has a couple silly moments, like when he's hanging off the cliff at the literal cliffhanger, and then when he's kind of slipping on the ice. But really, not much in Dragonfire. It's really Time in the Ronnie where he's just comically silly. And 1, that's Sylvester figuring out what he wants to do with the role, and 2, that's the Doctor suffering from post-regeneration, which is made even worse by the Ronnie's injection. And I usually give post-regeneration stories a pass, because post-regeneration trauma. So he's actually pretty serious in this season for the most part. Not as serious as he would get later, but still, he's not the silly clown that some people make him out to be in this season. Mel. I'm not a big fan of Mel, but she's there. I like Ray. I don't like her Welsh accent. I don't know if that's what a Welsh accent is supposed to sound like. I live in the States, and I really can't differentiate between British accents. I mean, I can hear a British accent and go, that's a British accent, but I can't tell you a Yorkshire accent from a Welsh accent from a Liverpool accent. I just don't know. To me, a British accent's a British accent. I can't really differentiate among them. So I don't think that's what a Welsh accent is exactly supposed to sound like. I remember in some of the behind the sofa stuff or the behind the scenes stuff, they were kind of talking about that. But I did adjust to it as the story went on, and I like her character. I can definitely see where they were setting her up as a potential companion, a possible companion, if they hadn't gone with Ace. And she kind of reminds me of Ace. She's got that jacket and her bag full of tricks. You know, Ace always has the Nitro 9, and Ray always has her different tools for any kind of job, you know. Like somebody mentions in like the behind the scenes or something, you could just see her in the TARDIS tinkering around it with the Doctor. I could see that. So I liked Ray. I thought she was a nice character. I liked Billy. I liked his story arc of him, you know, caring so much about Delta that he, you know, changes part alien so he can go stay with her. I didn't really care for the little green men at the beginning. They looked like the army soldiers. The little toy, you know, the little toy plastic army soldiers that didn't move. They're like little statues you could play with as a kid. They're about this big. They reminded me of full-size versions of that. Delta, I liked Delta. The actress that plays her, Belinda, is stunningly attractive. I was taken with her as soon as I saw her, especially that white outfit she's wearing at the beginning. Very attractive young lady. Very talented as well. I liked her in the course of this story. Because she is hard where she needs to be, but there is a softness and tenderness to her that she really brings to the role that I enjoyed. There's a lot of stunt casting here. And I know this more from watching behind the scenes and behind the sofa because, again, living in the States, I'm not familiar with these actors, but I do know that they were very popular at the time. Like, I know Ken Dodds is in there at the beginning, and I know he's supposed to be a really good comedian from the sound of it. Again, living here, I'm not familiar with him. I know the guy playing the beekeeper is a famous comedian. The guy playing one of the U.S. agents, the one in the Yankees hat, is a very famous, like, theatrical actor, Broadway actor, apparently. And they do fine. My biggest issue with the actor is the other U.S. agent, not the one with the Yankees hat, but the other one with that southern accent that is terrible. I've talked before in some Doctor Who's about how bad southern accents kill me because they sound very stereotypical. Well, I'm going to have to call over there to the U.S. Customs agents and I'm going to... Oh, God, it drives me crazy. Again, I live in the States. I'm born in the South, raised in the South. You know, I speak with a Southern dialect. So it drives me crazy when I hear that way blown over the proportion when Rosa had this. One of the issues I have with Rosa in the modern series is when they talk. That southern accent is just too much of a draw. Same problem with the gunfighters in the Hartnell era. That watching some of them use those southern accents, listening to it's painful. Listening to this one guy talk with that southern accent drives me crazy. There was that one time when the villain's about to kill both of them, and it's the one time he doesn't. He lets them go. I'm like, no! I gotta listen to him talk more. Go ahead and shoot him. It's okay. So yeah, that really irritated me. I thought the concept of the child growing so fast was neat, and I like how she speaks in sound. I thought that was a neat little way of communicating. I got a kick out of that. I felt sad that the people on the bus got killed. I kept expecting to find out that the doctor somehow saved them, but when you see them get blown up and the bus disappear, thought maybe he teleported it away, but no, they actually apparently all got killed. That whole bus full of people. I was like, that's sad. Anyway, but yeah, I actually really did hate that part. I hate that they all got killed. I kind of like the guy who drove the bus. The area where they filmed didn't look like much of a resort. And watching the behind the scenes, you see it was kind of running down and stuff. And it looks it in the footage. It looks not somewhere I'd want to sleep. I took one look at it, you know, how just run down that place looks in the scenes. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good place to vacation. Some of the incidental music I liked. Like, some of the incidental music does have a 50s vibe to it, which, you know, it's set in 59, that makes sense. So I like the parts that has the 50s vibe to it. That music works well. But then you have this other music that sounds like Benny Hill music. At least that's what I thought of. Because as I was watching the story, it's not Benny Hill music, but it reminds me of Benny Hill music. And then when I was watching the Behind the Sofa, I heard a couple people say the same thing. And when I hear the people behind the sofa agreeing with me, I'm like, yup, Benny Hill music. And it seems very out of place for the story. As much as I like what Kenneth or whatever his name is, the guy who does like the theme now, and I love Sylvester McCoy's version of the Doctor Who theme. It's quite possibly my favorite. It's either my favorite or my second favorite. I love that version of the theme, just like I love the intro a lot. But his incidental music and stories, while being good, often doesn't fit Doctor Who. I had that complaint about Time in the Ronnie. I had that complaint about Paradise Towers, and honestly, I have that complaint here, where his music is good, it just doesn't fit Doctor Who. And that Benny Hill thing definitely doesn't fit the scenes it's in. Again, I find the story decent moving into good, not quite great, but certainly not bad. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed watching it. Now, I have one of my subscribers who's a huge fan of this story, Bobby, and he's been telling me for months that I need to see it. It's a really good story. And I was telling him I'd liked it, but that I just wasn't super taken with it. And he points out, well, it is a very quintessentially British story, and again, living in the States, that I might not fully connect with it as a British person would. And I think that's very fair. I think that's very possible. One of my other subscribers, Kayako, I don't know how he pronounces his name, he said the same thing to me about the Daemons, because he likes the Daemons. And I know the Daemons is a very popular story, but I'm not a huge fan of the Daemons. I don't dislike the Daemons, but I'm just not very enamored with it. And he pointed out the same thing. He said, well, it has a lot of Celtic stuff going on, a lot of quaint old villages, and it's very British. It's something that someone who's British might connect with more than someone who's American. And I think that's also a fair point, and could be the reasons why I don't quite connect with those stories as well as, say, a British person might. I think that's very valid points that both of them make. But I still did enjoy Delta. I do like Paradise more, having watched both of them for the first time recently, because I really did enjoy Paradise. A lot of good stuff going on in it. So yeah, Delta and the Bannermen. What do you think? I like it. I enjoy it. I don't necessarily think it's great. I think it's decent moving into good. But let me know what you think of Delta and the Bannermen, and what you think of my review of Delta and the Bannermen. Bannermen. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. I also have a Patreon page if you would like to contribute to that. There is a link to that down in the in the description. There is a link to that, where you can join for just $2 a month. My entry level tier is only $2 a month. Most importantly, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.